So I welcome all of you. This is Ishan Isaac with Ishan on Air. We're live with Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and also Instagram Live. And this is the beauty of the technology and with regards to everything that we know today in terms of how we need to get right information, facts, and also news, where we then also discuss with each one of you what are your thoughts. So, in today's program, not during the live streaming, but once I go back to the legacy media, right now we're simulcasting on all the platforms. And I believe, in fact, this is also a true fact that Zishan On Air is the only Asian and South Asian radio broadcast that gets simulcasted on so many platforms with a huge audience. Happy Mother's Day to all of you, and especially to those who are moms. And without further ado, let's dive into today's topic. So, what is happening with regards to the ceasefire? Ceasefire is still fragile. Iran war takes a dangerous turn as fighting erupts in Hormuz. So, President Trump continues to say that the ceasefire is still in place. Secretary of War, Secretary of Defense, depending on what you want to call him, but it's Department of War now. He also said multiple times that the ceasefire still exists, but the fighting exchange is still happening. And this is where the US obviously is putting all its might and pressure to ensure that the Strait of Hormuz gets reopened, but it's not opening. And this is where Iran has struck some tankers as well as the UAE. UAE, will discuss about UAE and their position because they just left OPEC a few weeks ago. And they will have more than 1 million barrels of oil that they can now also sell in the open market, because previously when they were part of the OPEC, they had some quota and they could only sell 3.5 million as some reports as emerged. So millions of barrels of oil have been cut off and hundreds of ships are stranded in the Gulf with their crews. The US has responded with a blockade of Iranian ports and by intercepting sanctioned ships in the shadow fleet that is moving toward Iranian oil. Quote, today it was war conditions, said Yorok Isik, a ship tracking analyst and the head of maritime consulting firm Bosphorus Observer. Quote, there is no ceasefire, unquote, according to him. If there was no ceasefire, then obviously he's thinking from his perspective, but there is no active war, at least because of this ceasefire. And because now President Trump is going to be going to Beijing and will meet with the President Xi Jinping on May 14th and 15th. Previous talks and the summit was scheduled for March, but because of the war with Iran, it was rescheduled. So this would be a key topic that they will discuss, because the Iranian regime, they went to China, they also went to Russia, met with Putin. So this is a world chess game. But unfortunately, people of the world, they are paying a very big price in terms of commodities that are rising, as well as food prices are also rising, and there are also concerns about food shortages. Hopefully it won't get to that, but these are the reports coming in from various mainstream outlets and even on social media. This is the picture. Those who, all of you who are watching me live, please subscribe to Zishan On Air. The easiest way to remember this, how to subscribe, you can go to zishanonair.com. It will land you directly on youtube.com/Zishan On Air. But that's a long name, obviously, or website domain. So easier is Zishan On Air, one word.com, or youtube.com/Zishan On Air. So please subscribe and click on the bell icon and notify icon, so that way you will also get all these live updates whenever I'm on air. And this is where the president is focused on reopening the Strait of Hormuz, according to President Trump. Let's see what happens. Another key issue that is coming up with all of this is the Pakistani's role. The Pakistani regime, a key mediator in stalled peace talks, urged the two sides to keep their cool. There are definitely two arguments here. One is, that's great, and I'm all for peace. The other side of the argument, which is also I'm for, that once you have stability in home, then your stature and your position and your credibility really outshines and you really stand out. Problem is that one of the very famous and popular prime minister is still in jail in Pakistan, and he got a lot of votes, especially when that voting happened. And unfortunately, they couldn't resolve their own issues domestically, and they want to, go for world peace. I personally believe that there has to be the right balance, and unfortunately, Pakistan doesn't have political stability. Forget about economy, finances. Everyone knows the situation, and you cannot sugarcoat this stuff. So when you talk to people who have been to Pakistan or visit Pakistan or come back from Pakistan, they tell you very scary situation in terms of economy, in terms of politics, in terms of everything. Yes, they are very, successful people in terms of the elite. That's less than 1% of the Pakistani population. But unfortunately, this is where the Pakistani establishment, the government of Pakistan, they need to take a good hard look at what the heck you're doing. So anyway, they want to stay relevant at the geopolitical game because of Russia and China and these alliances. And those who are paying attention, they are scratching their heads. Obama says Netanyahu gave him same Iran war pitch as Trump, and that was reported by Washington Examiner and others, and that is interesting. Reuters, USA ceasefire holds despite exchange of fire, UAE under attack. That's where Reuters has reported, and Pete Hegseth took some questions, and the Gulf Arab States Foreign Ministry said in a statement that the attacks were a serious escalation, posed a direct threat to the country's security. So the Middle East is certainly in turmoil, and it's a very interesting time that the Middle East is facing as we speak. UAE says it's discussing currency swap line with US, and this is where, according to the banker, and how even US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent also said last month that the number of allies in the Gulf region and Asia had requested currency swap lines from the United States to help deal with the energy shocks and other fallout from the Middle East war. And the Central Bank of the UAE on March 17th became the first regional central bank to launch a liquidity support package for local banks, offering enhanced access to reserve balances up to 30% of the cash reserve requirement and availability of term liquidity facilities in both dirham and US dollars. So this is where we will continue to see what their central bank is asking. $31 billion, 31 billion in dirham, their local currency, which translates to 8.4 billion, according to the banker. This is where they need to keep that liquidity. And Hantavirus outbreak, that trace contacts around globe is happening. 94 people have offboarded. They are being scrutinized, and the risk has been assessed. 17 Americans will be landing in the US, I believe in Nebraska, and they will be assessed from the perspective of whether they need to be quarantined or maybe they can go back home. This is a virus where, according to the health experts, it's difficult to contract, not easy to basically get it, but once a human gets it, it's dangerous. 3 people died on this ocean liner, as you can see in the pictures, and it may have spread aboard a cruise ship, according to health experts. And this is where this is not a COVID-19 pandemic-like situation, but since that memory is still very fresh with people, people are certainly scared. Some are anxious, and some are cautiously optimistic. MV Honduras, that's the aerial photo of the cruise ship, and here is where in Argentina, even last July, there were some cases, and in 2018, there were 34 cases, 11 deaths. So this is certainly is still residing with some human population, especially in Argentina, as reported, and the Patagonia region as well. Politico has reported this is very clear warning after Indiana redistricting pressure mounts in the South. So this is where Trump is flexing his political muscle Tuesday, and the results are putting the spotlight on the Republicans who aren't eager to take up redistricting before the midterms. So primary elections in Ohio, Indiana offer latest temperature check on Trump popularity, NPR has reported. And South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster, a longtime Trump ally whose term ends at the end of this year, said on Tuesday that my decision on redistricting is outside of his control and instead, quote, up to the legislature, unquote. If the legislature falls to act by the end of session on May 14th, he would have to call them back in to revive the effort. So redistricting and gerrymandering is certainly something that should be discouraged by all voters, by all Americans, because it doesn't help the voters. It only helps the political party. And both political parties do it, unfortunately, and it's just wrong. And what's wrong is wrong. With that, I'm going to talk about our key advertisers. If you have not contacted Affordable Insurance of Texas, I would say please do, because they will give you best quotes and you will save a lot of dollars, thousands of dollars on auto insurance. And if you bundle it with the homeowners insurance, you will even save more. So call them. They also provide commercial insurance, business insurance, health insurance. www.aitinsurance.com, that's their web address, or just call them and mention my name, Zishan, on here, and word of mouth. Tell your other friends, family, and those who are new to town, and those are living in the state of Texas. There are many locations in the state of Texas, even in Houston, greater Houston area. Call 713-785-4000. That's Affordable Insurance of Texas, 713-785-4000. They have lots of credibility, decades of experience, decades of credibility. www.aitinsurance.com, 713-785-4000. That's Affordable Insurance of Texas. Give them a call and get a quote in minutes, and you will save hundreds of thousands of dollars, and bundle it with your auto insurance, especially your homeowners insurance. And for all your insurance needs, call Affordable Insurance of Texas, 713-785-4000. Roop Sari Palace, if you would like to get a beautiful clothing line from all different brands, and especially you would look like, you want to look like a model, for brides and grooms, even for women of all age groups, girls of all age groups, men of all age groups, boys. They have hundreds and thousands of dresses for evening wear, for formal wear, for everyday wear, and all these traditional dresses, as well as very stylish dresses. They even have a men's showroom. You can schedule a virtual video tour. Their number is 832-267-0065. 832-267-0065. Call this number to schedule a virtual tour, virtual video tour, and you can visit them also at Hillcroft, 1,000 square footage. That's where you will see Roop Sari Palace. Roopsari.com is their web address. And Eid is also coming up, so you can shop for Eid. I would like to mention about ShehnaiTexas.com, and they always have this buffet. Last time on Eid, they had a great buffet. Now this another Eid, which comes after the pilgrimage, Hajj. This one is about all-you-can-eat buffet. As you can see on the screen, 30 plus items. Vegetarian $12.99, non-veg $14.99, takeout buffet $7.99 per pound. That's Monday to Friday. Call 713-953-1388, 713-953-1388. Or visit ShehnaiTexas.com for party trays, catering. They have 25 plus years of experience, and they will give you a good price, good discount on catering. Just mention my name. Call Mr. Shahid Ali and their team, 713-953-1388, or visit them, ShehnaiTexas.com. And those of you who are watching me live, you can certainly see their 30 plus items buffet, different prices for veg, non-veg, and $7.99 per pound for to go. With that, I'm signing off, continuing with the legacy media. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll connect again next Sunday at 6 p.m. with this entire aspect of news analysis and how we need to get the correct news, truthful information, news with facts and analysis. Thank you. Signing off.